Hi, you guys. Welcome back to Meaningful Motivations with Tracy Erickson. And of course, if you are new to this channel, welcome. My name is Tracy Erickson. And in this video, I want to talk about the strange noises people have been hearing from the sky all over the world. Many people have been describing these noises as trumpet sounds coming from the heavens. So I want to go ahead and talk about it and what this could mean spiritually speaking. So stay tuned. While I was talking on the phone with my grandpa earlier this week, he ended up telling me that through his YouTube feed, he keeps seeing videos that show a trumpet sound coming from the sky. And some of the sounds that he's heard as well just sound like strange, eerie, and creepy noises that people have been hearing and documenting all over the world. He also mentioned that many people out there are contributing these trumpet sounds and other strange noises in the sky to the end times. And some people think that it carries a very deep spiritual meaning. So in today's video, let's go ahead and investigate what's taking place, but from a more spiritual perspective. I was definitely intrigued by learning this through this conversation with my grandpa. So, of course, I went to YouTube to see if I could find some videos that would show me this trumpet sound or these other strange and eerie noises coming from the sky. And of course, YouTube did not disappoint. There are many videos out there where people are sharing their experiences with these strange sounds.
Yeah. Creepy. No machinery nearby or construction, so I have no idea where it's coming from. It's fucking weird.
This is scary.
I decided to look into this a little more, and I found this article on scientificamerican.com that was titled Bizarre Unexplained Rumblings in Earth's Atmosphere Puzzle Scientists. Within that article, it says that solar-powered balloons were launched into the Earth's stratosphere and recorded a series of mysterious rumblings, and that scientists can't actually pinpoint their origin. The article states the noises detected by specialized instruments at 70,000 feet above the Earth's surface are known as infrasound because they are so low-pitched they are inaudible to human ears. And the article even says that the strange infrared sounds have so far defied explanation. In the article, it basically states that in 2016, researchers sent 50 balloons into the sky to sample the stratosphere's low booms and rumbles, basically all of these different sounds coming from the sky. And during that research, during those flights, they picked up these low, recurring rumbles whose signals could not be traced. The scientists have a few ideas for what the noises could be, and those ideas range from undetected atmospheric turbulence to echoes from below that are basically garbled beyond recognition. So from the sounds of it, even scientists and researchers have been baffled by strange noises in the sky for years. So while researchers and scientists can't even find an origin for these sky noises, these sky trumpets or skyquakes, then people down here have been speculating. And most people seem to believe that any of these rumblings are caused by large mechanical equipment, like in construction zones and things like that. They're also contributing them to other earthly noises that are simply reverberating in our atmosphere. And some people believe that all this is a big, giant hoax. And then, of course, there are the others, the people out there like me, who believe that there may be a spiritual significance to hearing strange sounds, trumpets, coming from the sky. So in the Bible, Revelation chapter 8 says, the 7 trumpets. When he broke open the 7th seal, there was silence in heaven for about half an hour. And I saw that the 7 angels who stood before God were given 7 trumpets. In chapter 8 of Revelation, as the first 4 angels begin blowing these trumpets, it seems like all of this bad stuff is coming down to the earth. So when the first angel blew the trumpet, there was hail and fire mixed with blood hurled down to the earth. When the second angel blew the trumpet, there was like a large burning mountain hurled to the sea. And a third of the sea turned to blood, a third of the creatures in the sea died, and a third of the ships were wrecked. And then, when the next angel blew the trumpet, a large star burning like a torch fell from the sky, and it fell down into the springs and water. So the star was called wormwood, and a third of all the water turned to wormwood. And it turns out that many people died from this water because it was made bitter. A third, okay? All right, so then when the 4th angel blew the trumpet, a third of the sun, a third of the moon, and a third of the stars were struck, and a third of them became dark. So the day lost its light for a third of the time, as did the night. When the 5th angel blew the trumpet, a star fell from the sky to the earth, and that star carried the key to the abyss. So the abyss opened up, and all this smoke comes out along with locusts. Now, all of these locusts were not supposed to hurt the earth. The locusts were sent from God to basically torment those who do not have the mark of God on their foreheads. And then the 6th trumpet went off, and the 4 angels were released for this exact moment, who were supposed to kill a third of the people of the earth. Basically, they had all these 2 million troops with horses and their riders. They wore red, blue, and yellow breastplates, and the horses' heads were like heads of lions. And out of their mouths came fire, smoke, and sulfur. So by these 3 plagues of fire, smoke, and sulfur that came out of their mouths, a third of the human race was killed. And then finally, the 7th trumpet sounded out. And here's what it says in Revelation about that. It says, then the 7th angel blew his trumpet. There were loud voices in heaven saying, the kingdom of the world now belongs to our Lord and to his anointed, and he will reign forever and ever. And then, of course, we have the 24 elders who sat on their thrones before God, who prostrated themselves and worshiped God and said, we give thanks to you, Lord God Almighty, who are and who were. For you have assumed your great power and have established your reign. The nations raged, but your wrath has come, and the time for the dead to be judged, and to recompense your servants, the prophets, and the holy ones, and those who fear your name, the small and the great alike, and to destroy those who destroy the earth. It says, then God's temple in heaven was opened, and the ark of his covenant could be seen in the temple. There were flashes of lightning, rumblings, and peals of thunder, an earthquake, and a violent hailstorm. In case you didn't know, the spiritual meaning of a temple is your mind. So after all of these, horrible things happening, suddenly the temple opens up to God's covenant. And so, spiritually speaking, these trumpets are representing a change taking place in the mind of the thinker. So, as you know, the revelation here, the angels in heaven and all of this, these are visions being seen in Revelation. And these visions are symbolic. So symbolically speaking, these 7 trumpets can actually represent the 7 major chakras of the human body, leading to God's temple, the crown chakra, the 7th chakra, which is then opened up. And suddenly it's like God can finally come in. 1/3 of the people were killed, though. Oh my gosh. But spiritually speaking, people represent aspects of yourself. Okay? So if you're interpreting a dream that have people in it, or if you're interpreting a spiritual text with people, those people represent aspects of you, the reader or the dreamer, whatever it is you're interpreting symbolically. So 1/3 of the people died. And basically, 1/3 of the people are still here. And 1/3 of the people are being tormented. So there's this strange thing taking place, because it seems like there's 1/3 of your aspects of self that are aligned with the lower vibrations. 1/3 of your aspects of self are more in a neutral place that can go either way. They can go to the higher or to the lower. That's the tormented spot. And then there's 1/3 of the people who live and can now have God's covenant. That represents the higher vibrations. But these are all aspects of you when it comes to interpreting the spiritual significance of such a story. So spiritually speaking, when you open your mind to the spirit, it can actually change different aspects of your lower self. So these trumpets in Revelation are representing a change that takes place within the mind of the thinker. And this change can lead to more of a spiritual alignment within yourself. In 1 Corinthians, this quote can be found. Lo, I tell you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trumpet. For the trumpet will sound, and the dead will be raised imperishable, and we shall be changed. For this perishable nature must put on the imperishable, and this mortal nature must put on immortality. So when I first heard of these sky trumpets, my first thought was Revelation and the angels' trumpets. And my second thought was tarot and the card Judgment. In the book Tarot and the Archetypal Journey, it states that the Judgment card is connecting with the biblical account of the last judgment when, at the sound of Michael's trumpet, the just will be called to heavenly life, whereas the wicked will be consigned forevermore to hell. The point to this resurrection is not, of course, that the just are to be rewarded with immortality somewhere in the sky, but that they are to be reawakened to a new and heavenly life here on earth. So psychologically, they will now be called to enter a new dimension of awareness, hitherto unknown. So even in the Judgment tarot card, this represents a time where there's like messengers from God awakening your spirit, calling you back to life from the dead. As you can see, the people are coming out of like coffins down here below. Interestingly as well, in the Judgment card, this is like the first account of our figures in the card actually facing the heavenly being. So this time of judgment in the Judgment card is representing, like it states in the tarot book, that you can make this particular choice from here on out after the trumpets call. Are you going to turn your face towards heaven and live as a reborn person with heaven on earth? Or are you going to be condemned to creating a hell for yourself? I also turned to the notes from heaven that came from my grandpa's letters from my grandma in heaven. And while thinking on this judgment and thinking on the revelation of it all, of these sky trumpets or sky quakes, and how this is an awakening of heaven on earth, I looked at these notes, and the question we had once asked my grandma in heaven was, is heaven a place or a state of being? And her answer was, on earth, it's a deep state of knowing. But after we die, we go to a beautiful place with a different body. And so that different body she's talking about is your internal soul, your eternal soul, your spirit, the part of you that lives on beyond this physical body. In the end, as a spiritual sign from the heavens, if you've been hearing strange sky quakes or sky trumpets, then maybe this is a spiritual call for you to awaken yourself from your earthly slumber and to awaken yourself to a new life that is more connected to your spirit. Because if the trumpets that the angels blow in Revelation are really all about opening up your chakra system and letting the energy flow in a new way and just opening up the covenant of God, then this could definitely be about a reawakening of your own life. It's about rising up and actually seeing life for what it truly is, for seeing life as just a moment in time where you are experiencing yourself as this particular individual through these lenses. But as a reawakened being, you're going to recognize that you're more than just your human shell. You are an immortal soul. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. So if you like this video, be sure to click that like button and share this video with all your friends out there. And of course, if you're a viewer but not yet a subscriber, I'm inviting you now to click subscribe down below. And once you have subscribed, you can turn on the notifications bell if you want to be notified every time I create a new upload. Thank you guys so much for watching and spending your time with me. I love you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.